Hello all. Welcome to the Orville's regular meeting of the Orville City Council meeting. We've just concluded our closed session, and I would ask the attorney to give us a report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No reportable action from closed session. Direction was given to staff.
Thank you, sir. Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Reynolds, would you lead us?
Salute.
I pledge allegiance.
Thanks, sir. Ruth, do we have any corrections or changes to the agenda?
Yes, we do, Mr. Mayor. So for the public hearing scheduled for the short-term rental ordinance, that's going to be postponed until the next meeting.
Okay.
And it will appear on the next agenda as well. And is that the only one?
Item number 8 as well.
Item number 8, which is the regular meeting agenda posting timelines. Mr. Ring isn't here today, and so we're going to trail that one to the next meeting so that he can participate in that conversation.
All right, thank you. Changes so noted. I would entertain an adoption of the agenda for council.
So moved.
Call roll. Oh, yeah.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. Forgot my welcome to all the residents here. Welcome to our council meeting chambers. In case we have to leave for some reason, like an earthquake or something like that, we would ask you all to go out into the parking lot on the other side of the building, just in case. And Mr. Belzer will be the last one out of here, so he'll make sure that everybody cleared up. And he's told us that he likes to run, so be careful. Yeah. Other things, if you need the restroom, just go down the hallway and it's available to you there. And then that is also an exit over there just to make you comfortable to the room. So again, welcome to our council meeting tonight. Next item is the presentations. I believe we have a presentation by CGI Digital.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we do have Andrea online. I'm going to go ahead and put the screen up onto the for you. She's going to get her presentation and share from her side.
If I can give a little context to this, so the National League of Cities had sent an email blast out, and they mentioned that CGI has this program where they do videos for cities for gratis. It doesn't cost the city anything. So they do these promotional videos. I've looked at a few websites that use their videos, and I called one of the cities just to see what their experience is, and they said that it just couldn't have been better, that it's been a really great experience. So Andrea will walk you through what the program is and how it works and how they actually do this for free. So with
Thank you. Just for the council or the folks in the audience, you're all seeing the screens behind us. We have a screen in front of us, so if you see us all looking at that, that's what we're looking at. So just to be aware. Welcome to Orville.
Yes, well, I'm glad to be joining you virtually from Western New York. So that's where we're based out of, Rochester, New York, if anyone's familiar. So I'm happy to be here, and thank you for the opportunity to present this program to you all. So a little background. My name is Andrea Tempio. I've worked with CGI Digital for close to 20 years now, and which hopefully shows how much I love what we do and what we do for local government. We work with cities, towns, villages, and counties all over the United States. Certainly contributed to our partnership with the National League of Cities. I have you on their website now that we have a page dedicated to our program specifically and what we do for member cities. We also work with the National Association of Counties, and that's another partner of ours, and the United States Conference of Mayors. So the three largest organizations representing local government in the United States, CGI has been a partner with for close to 20 years. USCM even longer, closer to 25 years. And they are very much in support of what we do for their member communities. And everything that we do is centered around promoting growth and showcasing what makes every community special. And we've done that through print media way back in the day. We've been around, for a very, since 1987. So we've been doing this a really long time. But then moved to video in the early 2000s and certainly haven't looked back from there. Video is just such a great way to share your story and to communicate and engage existing residents, potential new residents, business owners, and that's everything that this program is about. So what we do at CGI, we have a staff of just under 200 employees, a lot of them in our production department. We partner with communities and provide all of the resources to produce the videos for you. And we do it entirely at no cost. And how we're able to do that, I'll share with you as I go through some examples. I'm excited to announce that we just had 4 California communities sign up with us in the last couple of weeks. Selma, the community of Lincoln, West Covina, and Loomis. We already work with South Lake Tahoe, Auburn. I'm going to show you their videos here in a minute. Sassoon City, Lodi. We work with Shasta County, and many more. So those are just a few that I jotted down. So what we do is we do produce a series of videos, a set. We call it a video tour. Every community that we partner with is able to choose what they want those videos to focus on. Traditionally, we start with an intro video titled Welcome. It's usually where, oftentimes we'll have an elected official, sometimes a mayor, if they're comfortable on camera doing that intro. And then the additional videos, the city would choose what you want them to, like I said, what you want those topics to be. Then our team writes the scripts and does all the filming. We include some beautiful drone footage throughout our videos. It's scripted, it's narrated, music, fully produced from start to finish. And our community partners are approving it every step of the way till ultimately you approve the videos. And then they're ready to go live and launch from your website. So number one place that the videos go would be on the city's homepage to, again, enhance it, engage visitors. But it can be used in multiple places. Certainly, we promote that cities use our content on their social media platforms and really any number of places. We've had cities ask for it to be in a loop where they can play them in their kiosks within City Hall. We've had communities ask if they could have the video at a local theater to play and promote the community before movies began. So a lot of creative ways you can use this content. We certainly encourage that. All right, so let me jump right in. I'm going to show you some examples, and I'm going to bring you to some live sites. So Auburn is in the process of approving their video, so I have the proofs here. And some of our, South Lake Tahoe, they're in the beginning stages. We're right now in the scripting process for their videos. But Lodi, California, and some other communities I'll be able to show that have our videos live and available to right on their homepage. So let me show you a little bit. This is what our an intro video looked like that we did for the community of Auburn.
Welcome to Auburn, California, a place where rich history, outdoor activity, and natural beauty come together to form a unique and sought-after experience in Northern California's Sierra foothills.
Founded less than 35 miles from Sacramento during the California Gold Rush, Auburn seamlessly blends a storied past with vibrant modern living. Our charming old town and historic downtown districts attract entrepreneurs and young creatives, pairing authentic 19th century architecture with unique boutiques, restaurants, and breweries. Outdoor recreation is integral to life here, with hiking.
I'm not sure what happened there.
A hiccup.
It is. You know what? My computer just froze, so that's wonderful. It does this occasionally. So I'm going to just talk through it. And I'm, again, happy to share these videos in my presentation that I'll send after that can go out to everyone. Once it unfreezes, I can jump over to the community of Lodi, California, another one of our communities that have our videos live and share how this is done at no cost. So once the videos are approved by the city and they're made available on your website, how we produce thousands of dollars worth of content and absolutely beautiful videos, as you can see with what I've shared with you so far with the community of Auburn, at no cost, is the opportunity that it creates to partner with your local business community. So in the same way that the National League of Cities partners with the private sector to bring solutions to their member communities, we believe in the power of P3s, private-public partnerships. That's very much what our business model follows. We work with local businesses and we give them the opportunity to showcase everything that they have to offer to existing residents, new residents, to promote to, the workforce and career opportunities available at their business, schools, healthcare providers. So it's a really tremendous way for the city to show off and showcase the quality businesses that are available to people moving, visiting, or living in your city. And conversely, it's an opportunity for those businesses to really show off their reputation and all that they do for their community and the residents within their community. How that's done, I'll share with you, hopefully when my computer stops and is unfrozen.
We do have a question from Vice Mayor Smith. Would you take the question?
Sure, please. Perfect timing.
And you might answer it. Maybe I'll just wait until you've concluded.
Go ahead, because I don't know when this is going to unfreeze.
So,
there we go.
As you had mentioned, this is there it is. So.
There it is. Yes. Well, I can keep going, and maybe I'm sure I will answer your question. So once this is live, and there's a number of different ways this can look, I'm going to show you a few. This is one of our Washington communities. So this is Mukilteo. And then similar to Lodi, you'll notice that it's similar in the fact that it has the preview video and it has all the different video topics listed, but the color and the font, that changes. So even the display that we designed that hosts the videos is cohesive and follows your brand guidelines. So we want to make sure that they really, are cohesive, like I mentioned, with your existing website and look like they belong there and enhance it more than anything. So let me jump into one of these topics. So this is the homepage of the city site. Okay, this is what it actually looks like right on the homepage. When you click into one of the videos, it actually opens up a separate tab, and that's where you can...
Lodi is a thriving community with business development opportunities which make it an ideal location for starting and growing a company. The city's leadership is committed to providing a positive business environment and encouraging economic and business diversity. With its world-class...
I'm only going to pause it for the sake of time, but this is obviously goes into economic development. How it's free, as you can see, are the 20 businesses within Lodi that are represented around the perimeter of that video. And we do the outreach. The city is very much in control throughout that process. So when that begins, when that ends, even vetting the list and who we contact, we have a sponsor policy that we follow, but the city can certainly add to it. But we do that outreach. The city is not responsible for finding the businesses that may be interested in participating in this initiative. How they are represented, their logos, certainly you see, it can link to their website if they so choose, or they can have a video provided to us that they may already have, or CGI would produce a video to represent them here. So that's what you'll find when you click on their logo.
The bounty of nature meets the convenience of modern living.
So to know a little bit more about Pacific Coast producers, and it talks about job opportunities there, different healthcare providers, they have a lot of wineries and stuff. That's what they're known for. So, every video, Wine and Roses, beautiful little resort area, place they have available. So all of that will be linked. Now, it changes. Not only 20 businesses are represented, however, it could be, but it is available for 20 different businesses around each video. So it opens up and it's really available. We're trying not to turn anyone away from this. If we find that so many businesses are interested, we can add more video topics to make more room and open up more space for them. So that's how they're represented. When you click on their different logos, you can learn a little bit more about them. And a lot of them, like I said, will have a video that talks more about what they do. Nonprofits, we offer an opportunity to participate at no cost. So any, Boys and Girls Clubs or any local nonprofits that you would like to see represented around the perimeter of any of these videos, maybe a topic that makes more sense for them, you would let us know. We would connect with them. make sure we have the logo that they want representing them, and link it to their website. That's offered at entirely no cost to them. Businesses that are outside of the nonprofits, and that certainly if they have a video produced, there is a cost to them for that. And that's how we potentially can offset the costs of the videos that we do free for our community partners. Now, with that being said, it's not an obligation on the businesses. The videos that we promise, and in our agreement, it states that we assume all the costs of the production of the city's videos, and that is not contingent on any businesses participating. So if we come across a situation where none of the businesses in Oroville are interested in participating in this, you would still receive the videos. They would be at the same quality that you saw with Lodi and with Auburn. That would not change whatsoever. The difference would be you just wouldn't see those business logos around the perimeter. And that's a risk that we take with every community, every county that we work with. Certainly we're hopeful. We love to see the businesses part of this. Certainly makes this a comprehensive resource. People that are interested in moving to the city to be able to learn more and connect with local businesses through this partnership and this initiative. But it's not, like I mentioned, they're not obligated to do so, and we assume the risk. I'll stop here to see if I answered your question.
Go ahead, Vice Mayor Smith.
And actually, you kind of spoke to my question, and I have a comment, and that was, as you've stated, you don't need business participation to go ahead and create the content. So my question was, how many businesses would you need then to support this before we get the first set of videos, or what does that look like? So you're gonna, the commitment on your part is to produce 10 videos for a city, and then as you develop a clientele base of various businesses that are jumping on board with this private government relationship, then more content would be rolled out later based on that level of participation. And then the comment I had, I looked at a very similar program and presented that to my board. Full disclosure, I'm the CEO of the Chamber of Commerce, and we looked at something like this, and what ultimately led to our not going with it was concern was the tactics, the marketing tactics of the company in approaching various businesses in the name of, in this case, would have been the chamber, in this case here would be in the name of the city, and there was concern from my board about those tactics being more heavy-handed than we were comfortable with, and or having some now level of ownership in that, because you're now having the logo or the rights or use of the city's name then to procure business. And so to that end, what kind of guarantees or protection would the city have, and then what does that look like from your standpoint as far as marketing and developing a clientele base from our local businesses to support this endeavor? High level, I think it's great, but I would then echo some of my board members' concerns to that end. So maybe you could speak to that.
Absolutely, I can. Well, to address your initial question with the timeline as far as the videos, and when we start that right away before we even begin any sort of outreach to the businesses. So that ensures that we typically start, I think the videos we mentioned starting with 4 videos, which we can up that potentially, but that's usually the number we'll start, and we begin production immediately. We begin business outreach potentially a month or so down the road. And then if we fill up that space, then certainly we would invite more videos to be produced to make room. So we have a certain number that we start, and we don't need any businesses to sign up for us to begin that production. That starts immediately. As far as the outreach goes, that's a valid concern that every community that I've spoken with brings up. What does that look like? When does that start? How much control does the city have over that messaging? And you have all of the control. We can send you the emails that we're going to send out ahead of time for you to approve. We can let you know when when that outreach will begin. We ask for a letter of introduction. That maybe is something that another company had offered offered before. But the letter of introduction, which I've sent to you, and you can revise and change it to what you're comfortable with. But that's sent with every email outreach and every email we send. That letter is included, and that's coming from the city saying this is the kind of partnership we have with CGI Digital. This is what they're doing for us. So it's very clearly stated. We also are willing to do a video press release ahead of time that can also be shared via those emails we're sending out, which are just requesting a meeting just to talk more about the opportunity. And the video press release can be very transparent with the business community and clear with them as to the partnership and your role in that. As far as outreach, we do a couple, typically 4 to 8 weeks, I would say, of outreach. A lot of that looks just emailing, sending out. And if we get someone interested, they'll set a meeting. It's usually through a scheduling link. Some phone call follow-up, but that's usually it. Usually 4 attempts to communicate with the business. And if we don't, we just stop that after those 4 attempts. But the city can even say, let us know, if there are certain guidelines you want us to follow with that outreach. Absolutely, we will. As far as protection, we can certainly add termination language into the agreement where the city can opt out at any time if you feel that communication is too strong with the business community or you're hearing any sort of complaints. Now, with that being said, I can tell you that there are many communities that we have very long-standing relationships with that have had businesses still contact City Hall to say, hey, we got this call from CGI Digital. We've called a few times. They say that they're working with you. And it's a confirmation, curiosity. I just want to make sure that this is a legitimate kind of call, not a complaint call. So just really, differentiating between whether or not they're complaining that we're being too persistent or they're getting phone calls and emails and they want to make sure that this is a legitimate partnership and that we are who we say we are. So hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah. I have a quick question for you is what's your typical lifetime experience of the videos? Do they go away in 5 years? Do they need to be amended in 8 years? Or what's the kind of lifespan of those?
That's a great question. Yeah, so we do a 3-year agreement. So not 5 years. We typically, we do 3 years. And we've done 2 years before. And there are some edits that can be made within the 3 years too. But as far as our length of our contract, it's 3 years from the day that the videos launch, meaning they're live and available to the public on your website. That's starting your agreement. So it doesn't include the production time. From 3 years from there, then we reach back out and we offer to renew our partnership. And what happens then is we sign a new agreement and we reshoot and update and redo all of your videos. And that continues at no cost because it continues the same business model and presents the opportunity for businesses to participate again. So it just refreshes, kind of renews that. We don't have an automatic renewal. And then we can, just update and redo all your content. Within that time frame, for example, with the city of Lodi, their welcome video, that's, I think, the 4th mayor that we've edited in their welcome video. Their mayor changes annually. So every year we're changing that video. That's free. That is included. We don't charge for any sort of editing, certainly to the welcome video. And then even with some of the other videos, if something really significant happened or changed that you would want to make sure, whether it's a Parks and Rec director speaks about that, about that in the Parks and Rec video. And if they're no longer in that position, certainly that's something that we will edit. If there's a big project that completed within a year of us finishing the videos and you're 2 years out from updating them and you want to make sure that it's represented now in the videos, that's absolutely something we will do. We work with freelance videographers, local ones, and we also have in-house videographers that fly and work with our freelancers all over the country. So it's usually a bit of a combo as far as how we're getting our content.
Councilman Goodson has a question.
I do. And thank you so much for the presentation. So my question is mainly about the logo and what Orvillians, what we stand for, what our values are, our priorities, and our messaging is really important. So what control would we have over what you put out to make sure it aligns with us?
All of the control. So what I shared with you with Auburn, that was their third or fourth set of that was their third or fourth set of revisions. So you're working with our team, and every step of production you're approving. So when we write first of all, we agree on what the topics and the content, and they have a base outline based on a production meeting that we have with you that's pretty in depth. Then they start building scripts from that. Those scripts are sent to you. You're approving them before they're even starting to write the storyboards and the shot lists as where they're going to be filming and what sort of interviews or who they're going to be connecting with to be in the videos. So then that's approved. Then we start editing all that raw footage once the filming's done, and you even approve when that filming happens. That's all approved. So every phase of the production process, you have to approve before we move to the next. And then we send you the proofs like we did with Auburn, which it's giving me a hard time. But that goes back and forth. This was the third time they got back and they wanted little tweaks made. And then we'll resend this back to them until they have to sign off and say approved, all four of them. And then we design a display link, like I shared with you for Lodi, for, this is Shasta County, Mukilteo. We're going to design a link. And granted, these three look similar, but we've done custom button links. I mean, that even how the videos are represented on your homepage, how people are accessing them, even that would be approved before that display is sent to you for you to embed that code, which is just a link. You just copy and paste it before even that's sent to you. So you are in 100% creative control throughout the entire production process, or you just won't put them on your website. So.
Okay. Thank you. I'll follow up that question. The videos would go to the city's website, or will it be available somewhere else?
So they're available on your website, and then they'll also be available through Hello Nation. They're available on your social media. And then we also make them available in a magazine version that's available on Hello Nation, which is a resource on the United States Conference of Mayors site. So when you go to Hello Nation and you search for your community, right now, this is just generic content because we haven't worked with you before. All of this is not representing your city accurately. This will all be changed. The photos, the video content, all of this will be updated. So then the videos that we produce for you that are custom will go in and represent you in the magazine version that will be available on hellonation.com, which is, again, a resource linked not only on the U.S. Conference of Mayors site, but also on the National League of Cities website, and is searchable. So we try to make the video, one thing that we've added in, and it is included in your agreement, is that the videos that we produce for you that will go into your website or into your magazine version will be accompanied by articles. Hello Nation, which is an arm of CGI Digital, is the largest client of PR Newswire. We are now press releasing content for cities, local businesses, within our community partners. And that's now an element of our agreement with you, is that the videos that we produce, we are able to write an article and press release it, all, of course, approved by you, so that we can share that content on a national level and give more exposure. So it's not only available on your website. It's not only people going to your social media, finding it. These are people doing searches that are at all related to your city that will be able to be directed to the videos that are on your website.
Thank you. Councilman Goodson has another question.
Yeah, this is going to be a stretch. So this is free to the city.
Yeah.
When I hear the word agreement, that just does something with me. That means I have to sign on a dotted line. So let's just say this is accurate. It's free to the city, but you're making your money off. Oh, and we see you.
Hello.
The monies you'll be making would be coming through local business.
Correct.
Sponsorships. So we have a couple of business folks in the room, and I'm not going to put them on the spot, but I am looking at the faces. And so if you have anything to share.
Please.
And so I would venture to say that you pick and choose the cities that you go to, right? Or is
We are
this a generic template that you provide
It's
for all cities? And
generic template and the fact that the videos and the process is replicated, but the content is completely custom to each community. And we are strategic in who we connect with. A lot of times it has to do with whether or not you are or are not a member of any of those organizations I mentioned that we're partnered with. But also, we look to reach out to communities that we've never connected with in our history. So we've never, reached out to present this as an opportunity for your community. We look to that. We only film a select number of cities each year just because we don't have the capacity to sign up 200 communities a year. So we are selective in who we're reaching out to a degree. And after we get so many, we stop reaching out to communities until we're able to catch up. Yeah.
I guess my question was geared more towards if you knew our city and you had personal conversations with our businesses. I think as a rule, we don't really go out to bring in. And I'm just saying that very carefully. And with that, thank you for your responses.
All right. Any other questions from council?
How about from the...
Do we have any cards from?
Yes, I think
we do. We have one. Hold on just a minute. We have one public that would like to speak.
Okay.
Hi, Mr. Mayor, City Councilors, and so as I'm looking at the presentation as a business owner, I'm sure, we have also our chamber and our Downtown Business Association that does the same functions. So for us, we set aside like a certain budget each year to do advertising. So I'm just thinking like, well, where are the, kind of like, the functions of our local nonprofit entities that help support business come in, and this entity, how does it work? And so that's a lot more consideration for us. So we have like, hey, a certain amount of set aside funds for each business each year. So then that's going to kind of make us think a little bit more of like, well, why are we paying our membership dues to ODBA and chamber also? And then, so it's like, well, what more do we have to consider? So those are kind of like some of the things that go through our minds. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Actually, I'm going to ask a question that kind of follows to that. Your fee for the business people, is it a one-time fee or is it like a subscription fee?
I was just going to mention that it would be a one-time fee that would cover the length of the agreement. So it wouldn't be something they would have to budget in for the 3 years. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Could you share what that fee is?
It ranges. So we have a myriad of different services and products that they can purchase to have their logo represented. And that ranges from hundreds to thousands. For some businesses, it's as simple as we need a new website and then we add their logo. Some will be social, anything related to social media and kind of us managing that for the length of the partnership. Some will be video content if they haven't had a video produced about their business. And then we'd have different styles and types of videos that we can produce. So really the cost range is from hundreds to upwards of 10,000 depending on what they want.
Thank you. I want to ask a question on top of that. So once, and I understand this is broadcast out on the internet, do you find some of the companies actually take the video and then use it internally to their own companies?
Oh, yes, that's a huge part of it. That's where, I'll be honest, they see a lot of their return on their investment. More so now because of the PR aspect of it, we're hopeful that they'll see more with what we're able to do outside of just representing them on your website and hoping that, your website's getting views, that we can be more proactive in getting them out in front of people with the PR element. However, where they see a lot of it is whatever they have, certainly if it's social media, that's only helping them internally and for local marketing. But if they purchase a video through this partnership, absolutely, they own the rights to it. We include hosting that video for them on their business website, and then we're able to provide, views and data around who's watching it. We even what's even included is breaking it up into shortened segments that they can use to share on social media. So 15-second little slots. So absolutely, they can use the video, whatever they purchase through this partnership is available to them to use however they'd like locally. There are no restrictions.
Thank you. Councilman Johnstone would like a question.
Thank you. So I appreciate the presentation. Thank you so much. So there is no cost to anyone unless they choose to subscribe or enter into agreement, right? Enter into an agreement, regardless of whether any of our community businesses would like to. We still have the ability to have your services, regardless. That is correct. So I don't.
Correct. So they could all say no if they think it's too expensive. If they're not interested, they can all say no. I mean, that is. I used this example. I may have in my presentation earlier to Patrick and a few others that joined. Rolling Hills Estates is one of our clients, and I use them as an example all the time. The city, when I met with them and signed them up, warned me that we wouldn't probably sign up a single business for a number of reasons, some of which you stated. And that certainly was the case. I don't think we had a single business sign up. And they've worked with us. I think we're on our third time updating and renewing their videos. We've kept them as a client, even though every time that we've worked with them, we've taken a loss. But they are our partner. They love the videos. They're very bold and beautiful on their homepage. And we have not offset those costs at all with any businesses locally participating. The city's okay with that. They're happy that they're getting free video content that's enhancing their website. And that's a risk that we've continued to take with them. So there's an example locally. Well, not locally, but in California.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, go ahead, Patrick.
So the reason that I brought this to council is because the email from National League of Cities came in right about a few days or a week after I decided to wipe out the entire budget for marketing, and I thought, well, that seemed like a pretty cool, interesting timing. Mm-hmm. And then when I did talk to her, I asked the same questions that you're asking right now. And so the part where if nobody signs up at all, then they still do the videos and we still get the videos, they still have them for 3 years, I thought it sounded like a nice compromise to not having a marketing budget.
And in fact, you'd have them 3 years. They're going to be viewable where we're hosting them, and that display link that I shared with you with Lodi and Mukilteo. But we send you the files for those videos. So after that agreement ends, you can still use them. We won't be hosting them, and they won't be displayed in that same format. But you'll have the files for those videos still.
And we could do a video. We get to choose what the topics are. So there are 7 videos that were on the Lodi thing. And if we did, we could do one on public safety. If we could do I don't know. I haven't really fleshed out even in my own mind what we might do them on, but we could do one on our local businesses. So we could actually have our own local businesses be spotlighted as well.
Yeah, we've had a lot of cities have one of their topics be the Chamber of Commerce. In fact, West Covina, California, that is going to be one of their topics. Mm-hmm. Their economic development and Chamber of Commerce will be one of the videos that we're highlighting.
Councilman Johnstone has a question.
Thank you. So, if I'm hearing correctly, we have full control over the content of what we want to go on there. So I think this, working in conjunction with the Chamber of Commerce and in the ODBA and all of the different entities, I don't see a negative aspect of it. Our local businesses are not required to. You can look in, see if it benefits your company. If it doesn't, you're not required to, and we still get that presence. So I would like to make a motion to enter into an agreement and engage.
Well, we would just give direction.
This isn't an action item. You give good direction to staff to bring it back, though.
Provide direction to return. Okay.
I wanted to do the presentation first and bring it back if we wanted.
Vice Mayor Smith is on the queue.
Yeah, you kind of answered it with the creative content that you'll provide or develop, and then you mentioned you're going to host that, then after 3 years, if the city chose not to renew that contract, then the city would then have the license to that content and then be given that content, then host it on our own website. That's what I heard. I'm just repeating it to make sure I understood it correctly.
You would have the files, so you would be able to host them yourself on your website, yes, because their files would be provided to you. Correct.
Okay, and then along with that, the license of the content as well. So
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Very good.
Of the completed videos, they just can't be manipulated or changed. So what's been approved and provided to you in those files is what you'd be able to continue to share.
Yeah, and that's pretty typical. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Councilman Goodson.
yes, so clarification, we would not be able to edit those videos, correct? Some of that
Correct.
is going to be outdated in 3 years.
That's right.
Correct. Well, that's typically what happened. That's why we offered to renew our partnerships and continue. And it would continue in the same way. So if you want to update that content, we would do that at no cost, and it would follow the same business model where it's promised to you at no cost, regardless of any businesses
It's a
participating.
3-year
So
agreement.
that's correct. So Rolling Hills Estates is an example of that, where we've renewed with them. I want to say two times. It's close to 9 years that we've now worked with them. Definitely at least once. So we've done, or up close to 6 years now. And we renewed them fully knowing that the businesses aren't going to suddenly change their mind. So no businesses participated the second time we did it. And we updated and redid their content fully at no cost. So that is an option that you are welcome to, explore. I do also want to mention that in the nonprofits that I mentioned that we represent at no cost typically include Downtown Association, Main Street, Chamber of Commerce, and any organization that promotes the growth and celebrates the city and, creates awareness about the community and businesses are welcome to share our finished content on their websites as well. So if the chamber wants to take the videos that we produce and are approved and are available on the city site and have that link custom to the chamber site, we can design a link and send it to you, and you can add the videos to your website as well. And any of your members that participate would be represented on the videos that are available from the chamber site. And that's not any additional cost to them. So as a member, they get a perk by having their logo, their video represented from both the city and chamber site, and then same with the Main Street Association or Downtown Development Association. That's a perk included with all of our programs. We've, for many years, typically worked with the city and oftentimes the chamber together. So that's something that's included. And there's no cost to the chamber for having the video content made available on your website as well.
Vice Mayor Smith is in the queue for a question.
Yeah, you're actually making me a little uncomfortable with mentioning the company I work with because of conflict of interest that kind of gets involved here. But I think that not getting too deep into the weeds on this, we'll probably need to wrap it up. Mm-hmm. But I think that's why we would, if we move forward with this, looking for evergreen content, real high level, just promoting the city in a general sense, I think would be valuable. And then that way the content would have an evergreen status, potentially beyond the 3-year mark, but that would be my recommendation.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. Clearly was very detailed and informative for sure.
You're welcome.
We appreciate that. I'm looking at the council for consensus. Basically, we would, I think the issue is we'd move it to staff to work out some other details and share the concerns that we expressed up here. And personally, I'd like to see some other city recommendations too that you may find out there. I know Lodi is one, but maybe some others for when it comes back to council. So we appreciate your time. I don't see anybody else in the queue. We'll move on.
All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate it. And I'll send follow-up information that can be shared with everyone as well.
And have a great evening.
Thank you. Thank you too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is number 2. A presentation, update, and planning for the Pioneer Community Energy's October 2027 service launch. Lisa, welcome. I'm guessing you got a PowerPoint somewhere.
There we
Here we go.
Here we go. Can you hear me?
Well, welcome, Lisa.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Mayor Pittman and Council. I'm Lisa Rhodes. I'm the Community Outreach Manager for Pioneer Community Energy. I'm happy to be here today. As a quick recap, staff and council began working with Pioneer back in 2024. We agreed to conduct an impact assessment study along with Butte County, Chico, Paradise, and Oroville. And we found that all parties would benefit, and the CPUC agreed to us moving forward and approving an October 2027 launch of service. And we've procured the power needed for Oroville, and I'm pleased to provide an update today and fill you in on our exciting news about our services and programs and how we will partner in the coming months ahead.
Cool.
So this slide really highlights how Pioneer works. Pioneer buys the electricity from various suppliers, and PG&E still delivers that electricity through their power lines and poles. And they send just one bill to customers. So that's what's nice about this. You just get one bill. And that includes the PG&E transmission and distribution charges, and it also includes Pioneer's electricity charges as well. So again, customers will continue to receive just one bill from PG&E, and the electricity charges will be broken out on page 3. It'll say Pioneer electricity charges. So this slide really highlights and illustrates our Pioneer community service map and how it shows we're growing. Right now we serve Placer County and El Dorado County and those cities they're in. We added Nevada City and Grass Valley back in 2024. And our planned expansion for October of 2027 includes 6 counties and 9 cities in addition to Oroville. We're very proud of our history in saving customers $145 million since we started in 2018. And we're pleased our electricity rates have been lower than PG&E's in 8 out of 8 years. And we're really looking forward to partnering with Oroville. So this next slide really discusses the many benefits to joining Pioneer Community Energy. Our board of directors' #1 priority is to save customers money, but there's much more than that available to you. We provide a choice for residents and businesses, local governance and representation. You'll be able to appoint a council member to serve on our board of directors, so that gives you that local representation. Rate setting and transparency. You'll be setting our rates annually as a board of directors. There's opportunities to meet climate change, community reinvestment. We're committed to economic development projects in the communities that we serve. We provide exceptional local customer service. Our call center answers calls within 45 seconds, and they don't have quotas, so they really help answer questions and walk you through, because energy is confusing and people have questions about their energy bill. So, and we offer webinars as well, and we're just available, and we will continue to be available and support anyone that has questions. The next slide. This slide really highlights a few ways that Pioneer reinvests in the local communities that we serve. We support local events, we offer local programs, and we work to create local power purchase agreements in the areas that we serve, so the funds can stay local. Locally, we're working with West Biofuels and Biggs and Grass Valley on a 20-year biomat purchase agreement valued at $170 million. We also work closely with Sierra Pacific Industries, and we've purchased REC credits through them. We work closely with the El Dorado Irrigation District, and we signed a 10-year, $37 million PPA with them. And we've also been working with Colusa County on a $400 million, 15-year solar and battery storage project. So it's those kinds of projects that keep funds local, and we're very interested in working with Oroville and Patrick on any opportunities for local power purchase agreements or developers in the area. And again, this slide really highlights some of the activities that we've sponsored: a senior center Christmas party. We work closely with Feeding the Foothills, and we volunteer there, but we also have provided them grants, and we do have a grants program through our partner Calpine every year. And then we also worked on some energy efficient equipment upgrades to a local pool. But those are just a few of of the programs that we've supported this past year.
I have a question from Vice Mayor Smith. If he'll take questions, or you want to wait?
Up to you. I'm good.
Okay. Vice Mayor Smith.
You saved
go ahead.
ratepayers, I think you said 147 million?
145.
145. And so my question is the range on the percentage. What was the tightest percentage you had as to being under PG&E rates? And then what has been the most, the best savings and percentages? Because that 145 million represents all the ratepayers combined. So I'm more interested in that percentage savings. And then again, how close was that margin? You know, like, woo, boy, we just barely beat them this month. And then what's been the best production?
Right. So our board of directors just approved a savings of 10%. So the average savings is 10%, but
Right.
that can vary between 2% to more percent. It just varies.
Yeah.
But the average is 10%.
That's very strong. Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Councilman Goodson has a question too.
Yes, and I think for the average person, what we want to know is, because we know that PG&E still handles the transmission and the distribution. So how would joining Pioneer lower the cost for the average resident?
Great question. Great question. So Pioneer Community Energy, we're a not-for-profit, JPA.
That's number one.
Our customers are our shareholders. We don't have shareholders. Our board of directors makes saving money a priority. We're different than PG&E. PG&E, of course, has shareholders, and they've got long legacy contracts. We have a great power procurement team. They're looking at local ways that we can partner with and have power purchase agreements. We're very lean. We have 23 employees. And so, yes. And so there are a lot of ways that we're different than PG&E, and as a not-for-profit, we can save money, and we're lean. So
Thank you.
You're
Great
welcome.
response.
So this next slide really highlights our local programs created by the community for the community. We offer local programs that are created by our Community Advisory Committee, and so you're welcome to have a Community Advisory Committee member on our committee, and you have a say as to what programs we're going to be offering. One of the programs that we offer is our AC Tune-Up Rebate Program that's taking place now, and residents can get $75 back when they get their AC unit tuned up, and that's $150 for businesses. Our next is our Power Shift Rewards, where you can receive a $25 gift card just for signing up. And basically, you earn even more rewards when you conserve energy when the grid is stressed. It's not mandatory, it's voluntary. And we also have a Grid Gen program. It's zero upfront, no credit check to install solar and battery storage at your home. So those are just a few of the programs that we're pleased to offer. And then this slide really highlights a program for our ag customers in Oroville. We've got an ag program known as the Hourly Flex Pricing Program. And so it's available to those that reduce energy during peak times. And it's after 12 months, and you would see that cycle through, and then those ag customers could receive credits and a check back. We're also pleased that our board has approved early access for the city of Oroville to participate in two programs that we offer. So it's early access to our Solar Rex program. So that allows agencies to sell renewable energy credits and receive money back for those on a quarterly basis. And I've talked to Patrick and Brian both about that. So there might be some interest, and we'll be working later on that. But any solar arrays, large solar arrays that the city has, there's a potential for earning some extra revenue on that on a quarterly basis. And the company that we work with, Fuse, they look at your dashboard and they do all the work. So you just get a check, and it's a great process. So there's the Solar Rex program, but we also have a Clean Fleet Revenue program where if you have EV fleets or EV chargers, there's an opportunity to receive rec credits from those and receive a quarterly check back as well. So now I'd like to provide some more information and an overview of what you can expect from Pioneer over the next 14 months or so. During this time, we'll be implementing a very extensive public education campaign to educate residents about Pioneer and also help take the mystery out of the process. We're new. People don't know who Pioneer is. We want to really answer those questions and help make the information easy, concise, and be available for any questions. So our partnerships really involves a lot of collaboration and information sharing. As I mentioned, our call center and our customer care team are second to none. They're wonderful. And if anyone in the community has questions, we welcome them calling our call center even now before we launch, and we're 14 months out. But they're available at any time to answer questions. And we're prepared. If you hear something out there, you hear questions, and you're not sure about it, I mean, feel free to give us a call. I've provided my cards to staff. And Brian and Patrick have been great about reaching out with any questions that they've had, if they've heard things out in the community. We also have an FAQ that we'll be sending to Brian and Patrick to make available for you. We're also working on a resource guide that will be available to council as well. And we're also working with the other jurisdictions on a web page on their homepage that's available to answer some of those commonly asked questions, frequently asked questions. So we're really excited to be partnering.
Cool.
So Pioneer's developed a phased approach to community education and outreach over the next 14 months. The first phase was a research phase, and that was conducted in June. We're currently in phase 2, and we're planning our media strategy, our media campaigns, our messaging, and all of our materials. We'll begin ramping up from phase 3 in January to June, and we'll be launching early ads, town halls, direct mail, social media, webinars, and community presentations. If there's a group that you'd like us to present to, please let us know. We welcome that. And we'll also have ads saying Pioneer's coming, and then that will change when it gets closer to Pioneer's here. So basically, our last phase is going to be a robust ad campaign, civic group presentations, direct mailers, and during any of these phases, we welcome your input and feedback at any time. If you're not seeing us, if people are asking you about it, or if there are any questions, we definitely want to be a resource and help answer those questions. So to summarize, communications and community outreach play a key role for our successful partnership. You have a voice in the process, and we really want to hear from you. We'll be ramping up on an extensive outreach and advertising campaign complete with multiple communications from paid media to public meetings and webinars, and an on-site presence at community events. So we definitely want to be involved in the Salmon Festival and some of the other local events and have a presence. But it does take, as you know, a variety of communications vehicles to reach the community, and we're here to be a resource and a partner, and we want to hear from you and get feedback on those events that we should be sponsoring and taking and attending. So with that, I want to say thank you, and we're really looking forward and excited about this partnership.
Okay. Well, thank you for the presentation. It's very informative. Any questions from council?
And you left your card with?
Yeah. Okay. Any comments, cards on this event?
No, we do not have any on this.
Okay. Well, Lisa, again, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Very informative. Thank you. All right, folks. Yeah. Next item on the agenda is public communication hearing of non-agenda items. Do we have any cards?
Mr. Mayor, we will begin with Rhonda Magnuson and follow that with Brian Williams.
Welcome, Rhonda.
Tonight, I would like to start with something. A few weeks ago, I have just been informed the internet Facebook post that Weber made with running up and down the river and saying that they're doing this and they're doing that. Two men, citizens of this place, decided to attack 3 homeless men. So when you slander somebody, the repercussions of that go on and on. And I do know that that was the intent behind it, was to make people angry, which is something that has been done here for a very long time. I was not on drugs. I had an illness. I walked into a place of rescue, and I was beat up. Beat up. Literally beat up. Not by one, not by two, but by 4 people that were in a drug program that had been there, oh my gosh, years. Years and years, 8 years, 9 years, so on and so forth. And they're in this program doing it over and over and over again, and they are given control of a very unfortunate people. The homeless spent a very long time going to the Terrys, begging and pleading. We want shelter. We want to come in. But then you hire people that are supposed to be case managers, and they choose their work over their client, which is illegal, not only federally, because you've got federal funding for that, but it's civil, okay? Then you got people that want to go online and they want to give excuses. I was alone. I did meth. I was whatever I was. But they cannot apply that same understanding for other people that are in the same situation. The understanding they got now is the people that I'm trying to get in with is nervous and don't like the homeless people. So now I'm going to score points. And not only that, but you sat there and you watched a woman go back to the street for 2 more years. Very, very freaking ill, to the point where I almost lost my life last year. Okay? And they witnessed me starve and denied me black.
Rhonda, thank you, Rhonda. Your time has expired. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we have Brian Williams, followed by Claudia Donati.
Welcome, Brian.
I'm going to start off by saying I'm very sad, frustrated, and quite frankly, angry. Bedrock Park is a mess. I spoke for 4 years leading up to last 2 years ago's election about all the things that are going on in that park and how it's not safe for our citizens. 2 weeks ago, there was a man gunned down and murdered, shot in the back on the steps of Bedrock Park. This is exactly what I was foreshadowing in the 4 years of me speaking at this council. And 2 years ago, when I decided to move out of my house and run for council myself to try to address this problem, Bill LaGrone said he was going to shut that park down. And Bill LaGrone, the city attorney, and this staff this council sitting in front of me all agreed that this park had a problem. And the solution was to put a fence around it for about 3 months until it was deemed too expensive to keep repairing the fence and to remove the fence. But we are here now 2 years later, and the actual underlying issues of that park still have not been addressed. And now there's a family in mourning who buried their son, their father, and their child, and their family member today. I was out there at 10 o'clock at night on Saturday night watching our wonderful police staff, our paramedics, and our firemen trying to save this man's life while he bled out on the staircase. And there's virtually no response from this city in the 10 days since that educates this population of our town that this is actually happening in our city. And I need this park to be shut down again. The town needs this park to be shut down again and addressed like the way that you're protecting Hewitt Park. This park needs to be a priority. The whole river needs to be shut down if you guys are going to continue to allow the homeless and the transients and the people that do not want to follow the rules to be able to allow our citizens a chance to use this property. This is our property. It's not their property. And I am stuck living 300 feet away from a very recent murder that has got me on edge. I need some help. The town needs some help. And the solution that came up 2 years ago, it acknowledged that there's a problem, and the problem was not fixed. I'd like to take the last 30 seconds as a moment of silence for Josh Griffiths and his family. It is time to do something with Bedrock Park now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Up next, we have Claudia Donati, followed by the cameraman.
Welcome, Claudia.
Thank you. I noticed last time I was here, there wasn't any mention about Jesus. So, to present God's presence here with his word, I found a verse to ponder. And it kind of ties in with what we've been talking about. It's Proverbs 17 in the Message, verse 24. The perceptive find wisdom in their own front yard. Fools look for it everywhere, but right here. Dear Lord, I lift up all decisions, all spoken words, and all thoughts to honor you, God, yourself, during the time of the city council meeting. In Jesus' precious name, amen.
Thank you, Claudia.
Up next, we have the cameraman.
Welcome, cameraman.
Good evening, Oroville City Council. First, I guess I'll start with the sign outside of town coming in. If you're coming into Oroville from Marysville, so I think because you can't really stop on the highway and park out of there, but I think it was dedicated 2006, and obviously since the 20 years it's kind of faded. I know I mentioned it before. I don't know if I missed an update from Public Works or whether that's in the city's jurisdiction, but I don't know if we can get something going on that, making it, I guess, not faded anymore. But I was thinking if it's 2006, it was dedicated, well, the Oroville 1906, America 250, maybe we can get some sort of design like, Oroville 120, America 250, just something nice to just make it a little more readable than the fadedness that it currently is in. Another issue, previous speaker spoke about, definitely we need to get something done about Bedrock Park. Now that especially a gentleman has lost their life to a shooting down there. I've gone down there myself personally many times, night or day. Once you're really like down in certain parts, there's like no lighting down there at night. There's numerous places down there people up to no good can hide and do whatever illegal activities they're up to. It's just at the end of the day, a fence isn't going to solve crime. They'll just go over it, under it, through it, or just go somewhere else where there isn't a fence. Easier. Well, I won't climb the fence to get in the bush that's surrounded by the fence. I'll just go to the bush next to the fence. That way maybe find a solution that doesn't waste money and doesn't really do anything. I know there's talk about the flock cameras and stuff. Whether it's a flock camera or a pole-mounted camera, at the end of the day, cameras are useful, but they don't prevent crimes. They only record them. Okay? So even, maybe putting a camera down there, it might be a deterrent, but I'm not saying that's a guaranteed it's going to stop crime. It's going to film it if it does occur. That's for sure. And just finally, I'll touch on, because there's a lot of mudslinging going around on Facebook with this upcoming current election, whether some things are true, others are not true. There's some definitely disturbing stuff. I'm hearing that whether it is true, I encourage anybody to call the FBI office in Chico at 530-893-0655 if they have anything they would like to report. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mayor, that's all I have for submitted comment cards.
Okay. Well, thank you all. Next item on the agenda is reports and discussions. Council announcements and reports. Any councilman? Councilman Goodson's on the queue.
So this is a good segue to what the cameraman just mentioned. There's a lot of things on Facebook. And so what I I noticed a lot of things, but one of the things that I started focusing on was the miscommunication in regards to this city of Oroville, and I'm so glad that our reporter is here, is broke. No, we are not broke. We have, for the record, $9 million in our reserve. That's in our reserve, not in our operating budget. That's where the deficit, 2.5 million, came in. And there is a reason for this deficit. It comes from several pressures hitting all at once. There's expiration of, and you can correct me, on some things that I might not, that I need clarification on. But we know that the city, a lot of the money that comes through is grant funding, and we all know that that's not sustainable. But sometimes it's needed, and it's necessary to sustain what we need to do. And so those go away. Additionally, there was a flattening of sales tax revenue. And then I'm just going to be honest, there's an elephant in the room. I know there's some council people that don't want to hear it, but when we contracted with CAL FIRE, and especially when it went to the 66-hour staffing model alone, it added $750,000. Let's just keep it real. Those prices are not going to reduce themselves in the future. And so, while we did have Measure U money coming in years ago, we still have to realize that there is the cost of living and higher public safety costs. And that is what is driving the current gap that we see. And so, but once again, if you in TV land did not hear anything I've said, the city is not broke. We have $9 million in reserve. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Smith is in the queue.
Yeah, I'd like to move on to a real fishy topic. Salmon Festival. Yeah, coming up on the 26th of September. And then a river cleanup on the 20th. It's hosted by Feather River Parks District, and the city will be participating in that. And then hopefully all of the community will show up in great support in putting on our best and putting our best foot forward to have a wonderful Salmon Festival season. And I also want to mention that the Enterprise Tribe, which operates the Hard Rock down south of us, they are going to step up and bring back the Friday night salmon dinner, which I think is just wonderful that now we have all three local tribes participating. Of course, Feather Falls, Gold Country, and then now Enterprise, that are all participating in different ways in this wonderful event. And so it's a time-honored and treasured event that happens right here in Oroville, and so I'm just very grateful to be a part of it, and I hope that everyone here participates on some level. Thank you.
Okay. I'm in the queue. I wanted to add something about an interview, but I agree with Councilman Goodson's comments, and thank you for mentioning those. We're not broke, folks. We're in the tide of being held to sales tax revenue. And revenue of sales tax goes up and down. Thank goodness this council set aside money to be able to handle those waves of revenue stream that come about. The other thing I want to make a mention is I was contacted by Western Cities Magazine, which is an international magazine, or not international, but a national magazine in the city of the state of the United States. They contacted us and wanted to do a specific article on the city of Oroville, and they asked for me to do it. And I said, "Whoa, wait a minute, you need to talk to staff." So staff has been very much involved with Western Cities reporter, Patrick, zoning, Amy, and Brian. And the focus of their project is we're one of the very few cities in the state of California that satisfies its RENA numbers, which is the amount of housing required by the state of California. And we met that.
Yeah.
Many other cities are in a penalty phase and actually may have to pay fines based upon that from the state of California. So Western cities want to know how we did it, and they're intimately involved with many of our staff members, and it'd be fun to see that how that article comes out. But we're one of rare cities that actually satisfied that issue. I just want to report that, and we've had some great work here lately in the city with a lot of different activities. There was a conference yesterday at the Southside Community Center about improving economics to all aspects of the community. It was a very good conference, and it was actually zoomed to City of Weed, Alturas, Nevada City, Gridley, and Oroville. So it was interesting to be in one meeting room having all those cities combined efforts.
There were 9 counties.
9 counties, yes, 9 counties involved. So it was a very informative, and the base for the operation was here at the Southside Community Center. That's where everything started. So it's kind of a big deal. That's all I have. Councilman Reynolds?
Since it was brought up with the CAL FIRE contract, when we first contracted with CAL FIRE, they saved the city $1.1 million per year. It's true they went to a 66-hour work week, which did cost the city an extra $700,000. That means they only saved the city $400,000 a year right now, but it's still a savings. And the coverage for the safety of the citizens is unmatchable. So it would be really irresponsible to consider moving away from that. And the $9 million that the city is currently balancing its budget with is what we put away when I was mayor. So let's get the timeline straight. Thank you.
I'll accept that it was set away, but it was not you, sir. It was the council. The council gives the mayor direction. The mayor does not have authority that you just mentioned, sir.
They gave you direction running into a deficit.
Okay,
Okay,
so
we're not going to continue this discussion.
Right, but I did want to say for the record that the 9 million just didn't happen overnight in reserve. It was cumulative over years.
Yeah, 4.
Okay, we're done with that. We're not going to argue in front of this. This is supposed to be council announcements. We'll debate this on another level.
Anytime.
And in fact, your comments about the CAL FIRE contract are very inaccurate, sir. And you failed to even look at the.
Sir, please don't campaign from the dais.
I'm not. I'm just saying
that
that the information was given to the last budget hearing, to this budget, and you failed to even look at it.
Not
Okay.
true.
Any other council announcements? Then let's move to the administration reports. Ruth?
I'm happy to report from the finance department that we completed the tax roll last week, and the sewer tax roll this year is $5.4 million. So look for your property tax statements to be coming out in a few weeks.
Thank you. How about over here on this side of the room? Tim, go ahead.
Happy to report Norton Street project bids are due on Thursday at 2 o'clock, so we'll find out if we have a winner Thursday at 2 o'clock. I anticipate bringing that to council September 1st for awarding that contract if everything goes smoothly. Courtyard and design documents should be in next week. We'll review those with the users and make sure that we're getting what we need there. Streets department placed 116 tons of asphalt over the last reporting period, so we're chipping into that $750,000 that council set aside for us. And we also completed roadway painting near the schools to include the crosswalks. Parks put in new drinking fountains at Rotary and Centennial Park. Fleet serviced a whole bunch of vehicles, notably 16 police cars. And sewer cleaned 5.6 miles of sewer main, inspected 1.6 miles, and we cleaned up 4 sewer spills that were caused by others. And I'm addressing that with those others.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And they're responsible and going to reimburse, hopefully?
I will work with the others. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Patrick?
I just wanted to promote something that's coming to the Chinese Museum, the temple, that there's a traveling exhibit that starts August 22nd, and it runs through October 11th, and it examines how photography shaped the lives and public perception of Chinese Californians during and after the 1882 Chinese Exclusion Act. So it guarantees to be an educational event. Everyone should go.
Great, thank you. Mr. Belser? No? You're good.
You've been busy.
Yeah.
Code enforcement
Right.
has been extremely busy.
Yeah,
Okay.
appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Any others looking in the room? I guess we're done. Some of you might mention or notice that Brian Ring is not here. He's on vacation, and Ruth is filling in tonight, so we.
Thank you, Ruth.
Yes, thank you, Ruth. All right, next item, I'll entertain a motion for the consent calendar.
So moved.
Call the roll, please.
Motion passes, 6 yeses, 1 absent.
Okay, regular business. Item number 2, the elected officials' transparency and accountability ordinance and associated draft policies. Go ahead, Mr.
Yes,
Ritchie.
Mr. Mayor. So at the most recent prior meeting, we had some amendments that were proposed by Councilmember Thompson to the original transparency ordinance. We were in the process of going through public hearings to determine what should go into that. Member Thompson, who is not here tonight, he provided a listing of changes. He read them out at the meeting, and everybody can see those online. So before you is a draft that incorporates those things in red line. There's a couple of different things that are in that draft. It's really for information tonight. He's not here. I think it's very important that he participate, and so we didn't want to hold the item up, but we will continue to bring this and continue the process here with this item. We wanted to show you the progress, like what it looks like inside the amendment, and then for the public, there's 2 kind of color-coded sets of amendments. Some of them are staff, and then some of them are the result of Councilmember Thompson's additions. So we're going to continue the discussion, but we wanted to update you, provide the copy, make sure the public knows, the direction we're taking on that. And we will then, if you have any other additional edits after reviewing that here, we can take those down, or we will move forward with the next public hearing, and we can assess it at that point when Member Thompson is also available to be with us. I think that's beneficial, as these are his proposed edits.
Yeah. Well, I thank staff for bringing it to it. It also gives the public an opportunity to look at those changes. And when we have the public hearing, you'll have some heads up to look at that. So we'll move this to the next available agenda when the councilman's here. Do we have any cards?
We did. We do have one public comment card from Marcia Henderson.
Welcome, Marcia.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. So this is in regards to mostly the protocol policy for reviewing transparency violations on page 53 of your packet. Under intake and triage, number 3, next steps, it says number 2, informal resolution for minor first-time matters, and number 3 is formal investigation for more serious allegations. And so I just wanted to say that I'm not clear on some of the content of the language of this policy. So I'd just like to share the questions that I have about that. The terms minor and serious allegations, those terms are not defined. I don't know if what I saw was it's in its entirety, or if I saw an abbreviated version of the protocol. But if these aren't well defined, it leaves those terms open to discretionary interpretation. And so it's also important that if it's a serious allegation, it brings with it a formal investigation, which brings a price tag with it because it's outside investigator. So if these aren't defined, who determines what constitutes a minor versus a serious allegation? It doesn't say, so I'm going to guess it's either the city administrator or the city attorney or both. But in my mind, that needs to be spelled out in the policy and in the ordinance. And then about minor first-time matters. Well, what about second-time matters? Repeated violations, either repeating the same violation or a series of different violations. Is it a pattern? Does a pattern of minor violations as a whole constitute being a more of a serious allegation against the official? So on the ordinance itself, the word may is used in addressing consequences of final findings of allegations, which I think is fair because it removes a mandate for the first time minor violations. Is it strong enough language, though, for repeated violations? It makes the consequences discretionary. At the discretion of whom? Is it the city council that decides? The ordinance doesn't define it, and to me, this also should be clearly spelled out. So ordinances and policies are like roadmaps designed to help you with guidance, to assist you in consistent, non-discretionary decision-making. And if anyone isn't clear on how to answer these questions that I asked, I hope you'll send this back for review and revision before bringing it for a public hearing. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that. Councilman Weber?
Marcia, would you be able to provide the list of those questions to us so we could consider all that? Because I agree with you, like vague, ambiguous language and an ordinance that is designed to enhance transparency, it doesn't make much sense, right? So you got to have defined languages, it's just the way it is. But I agree with you completely. Your questions are relevant. Your questions are very good. And I think we should assess that because under the current form, the way it's written right now, it is very vague. And that was not the way it was designed to be written. But, hey, things happen and people want to take out stuff and, water it down and its effectiveness. So, but could we perhaps get, okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Appreciate your comments.
Councilman Goodson's in the queue.
I listened to every word you said. Well spoken.
Ditto.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, folks, thank you. Any other cards on this item?
We do not.
Okay. Councilman Reynolds.
Thanks, sir. Just want to address the elephant in the room because a lot of this stuff started with questions on the Gateway project. So I want to tell you, the public, because I see a lot of people out there going, this guy's under investigation. I'm not under any investigation. There was 5 investigations, and every one of them had findings to them. They like to talk about the accusations, but they don't like to talk about the results. Absolutely no wrongdoings by Mr. Reynolds. So there was a lot of city money wasted on this stuff for political targeting. So I just want to let you know that that's where we're at. Watered down, chopped up. What it did was it stopped targeting council members. You can't demand the resignation of an elected person. You have to be the Attorney General. So, and that language was in there. Why put something in that you can't enforce? But anyway, just to be clear to the public, no wrongdoings by Mr. Reynolds. So I was quiet through all of these investigations because that's what you're supposed to be. While everybody else went to the newspapers, went to the TV stations, everything, I was quiet because they asked me to be, the investigators. I did what I was supposed to. The investigations are over. I didn't do anything. So I hope we can move on from that. We get past this election, I'm sure that we'll be fine. Somebody will get elected and they'll quit targeting. Thank you.
Any other questions from council? I see none. And any other cards?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Next item, number 3,
Mr. Mayor, could I interrupt? We do
Sure.
have a scheduled public hearing still.
Oh, the
at
5 o'clock.
So I want to see if we can just sort of deal with that one really quickly. And
All right.
then on this item, and I'll have Pat talk on it.
I thought you
Did we pull?
We indicated we were going to trail this till the next time.
Right.
So I just want to make sure that we're aware, for those who might have been waiting for it.
Okay,
In case
okay.
they didn't hear.
Okay.
We are trailing this to the next meeting.
Okay. So for all in the audience, item number 9, which is under public hearing, was the first reading of the ordinance number 1900 requiring short-term rental platforms listing addresses pursuant to SB 346. We are moving that to our next meeting, subject to staff's recommendation. So if anyone's here for that, just be aware it's being moved to the next meeting. Okay.
And then in addition, there is a copy of the draft ordinance that is available. If anybody wants to read it, they'll just come to City Hall and go to the front counter and they can read a
Okay.
copy of that.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Then we're next ready for item number 3, Master Gardener's Memorandum of Understanding for Gardening Activities at Sank Park.
Good evening, Mr.
Oh,
Mayor, Vice
go
Mayor,
ahead.
council members. This one is mine. I'll introduce it, but then I'm going to hand it off to some friends who are going to wow you with what they do at Sank Park and what the program that we're proposing does. So this is the University of California Cooperative Extension Butte County Master Gardeners Program, or MGP for short. This work is.
She's going to present.
There she is.
This work is sort of already going on. We have a lot of garden volunteers that work at Sank Park. You'll see in the presentation that's queued up, volunteers from the community work with our public works to beautify the park, take care of some of the things that need to be taken care of. However, there's no formal agreement. What the proposed memorandum of understanding does is formalize that with the University of California Cooperative Extension and here locally with the Master Gardeners Program. And Jennifer Lang in the back is that representative who brings legitimacy to this. So it brings a formal agreement between the city and MGP and allows us to work in concert with each other to make Sank Park better and also provide workshops and gardening ideas to local residents. So without much further ado, Jennifer.
Welcome, Jennifer.
For having us here tonight. My name is Jennifer Lang, and I am the program coordinator for the UC Master Gardeners of Butte County. The UC Master Gardener program is an education, nonprofit, and outreach program for the University of California Agriculture and Natural Resources. Our volunteers provide our University of California research-based gardening information to members of the Butte County community through our free educational workshops, our plant clinic, our community events, and demonstration gardens. Today, I would like to introduce 3 of our Butte County Master Gardener volunteers who have been strong advocates for bringing UC Master Gardener activities and resources to the city of Orville: Diane Brown, Tanya McManus, and Elaine Brown.
All right.
Welcome, Diane.
It's been a long time coming, but here we are, and we're so glad to have you listen to us. Okay, so Jennifer just talked about the educational aspects of the Master Gardener program. And the slides I have here show what we've been doing to date, working really closely with Wade Atterbury for the last 3 years at Sank Park, with the idea that we would hopefully have an MOU as Master Gardeners to bring education to our community through this site. And so you can see in the first slide some of your people you'll recognize that you see around town that are constantly working in our parks, and we work collaboratively with them. Am I supposed to do this?
There you go.
Okay.
It worked.
So, and just talking about, for example, we worked in the citrus grove when we first started working at Sank Park, because we had that man Robert there who's an expert with citrus care. So he taught us all how to work with citrus. We pruned heavily. We whitewashed the trunks. The city spread mulch with us and fertilizer. And so we have a really good partnership. The Public Works, I guess it's the Public Works, is it? Okay, provides sometimes plants if they can. And they provide mulch, and they provide fertilizer and plant. Yeah, I already said plants, okay? And they also haul off all our green waste, which is really a big deal if you're gardening. You know, you get that big pile of green waste. So we all feel, all of us that worked on this, that we could educate community members about citrus care. So that's one of the places that we've worked. And then another kind of satisfying job we did was Teresa and Frankie, I'm sure you know them. They pulled all the ivy out of this little bed over by the fountain. And then we researched dwarf azaleas that rebloom. And Wade purchased those for us. And then we got them in the ground, and the city put mulch down. And so we feel good about that. If you go through the garden, you'll notice the change there, because that was all choked up with invasive ivy. In that same area, it's the azalea garden. It was choked up with a lot of, you can see in the corner there on the left side, all those are irises. They're ugly. They were really invasive, so we've been pulling them and pulling them and pulling them, mulching. Some big trees were lost in that area, and so in the loss of those trees, the climate changed in the garden. So we've had to replace some of our plants with more sun-tolerant plants, and Wade's put in some new trees too, so, and done some pruning there. And so here we are with Mitchell, working on this kind of wedge area where there was a huge tree. Since these photographs were taken, Wade put a nice new tree in there, one of those maples that has beautiful foliage. And so we're still sort of working on that area because of the irrigation situation. But one thing we do is we put weed paper down. We do not put down the plastic weed cloth because it's very bad for the environment and it doesn't allow the nutrients to get into the soil. So we can talk to people about how to best add nutrients into your soil with mulch and compost. So that's something we can do with that area. And then I don't know if you guys know Maxine Leclerc, but she lives on Bird Street and she's 88 years old. And she's the woman standing there with my sister. She has leaning on her hoe. She comes with her little wheelbarrow and her tools, and she's really dedicated. I should have put Bird Street enhancement because that's Bird Street. And she walks with her husband every day around the park. He's an attorney in town. And it really bothered her what was happening because if you can see that kind of greenish photo, that's all invasive plants that have come into that area and volunteer little trees and stuff. So she would teach anybody about how to improve their garden. And we work together, and we took out a lot of, halfway it's done, and the other half is waiting for us. But you can see we put down the weed paper, and then Wade had mulch brought, and the guys helped spread the mulch. So we can talk to people about how you deal with invasives and in that area too. And then this is an area that Wade was really, it bothered him. When you enter from 4th Street, there's this big plot, and it was all choked up with aged out shrubs, and ivy was growing over them, and he wanted people, when they come to a wedding, to come into a beautiful setting. So what we're proposing, he would like us to plan, as master gardeners, a native plant garden there. And we're interested in how native plants can be used in an urban setting. Because a lot of people think native plants have to look kind of scruffy, but they can look really pretty in a native plant garden. So what we did was they ripped everything out with the heavy equipment, repaired the irrigation system, put topsoil down, smoothed it all out, and then in came the weeds. So we pulled the weeds, and then we went back and we saw the weeds again, so we pulled the weeds, so we put down paper, that thick paper, and then mulch. And so it's sitting there waiting for more action. And so what do we have next? Okay, this is just a little wedge-shaped garden. It kind of shows you how there was a beautiful saucer magnolia living there, but a big tree died and it couldn't handle the heat. So the city had to take it out and take out the stump. And then how can we put in some more azaleas and a little crepe myrtle. The crepe myrtle can take the heat. So that's just an example of what you can do when you have a changing climate also. And then this is kind of one of our last places we've been working on. We want to put in a pollinator garden. There aren't a lot of insects or birds at Sank that there should be because there's not enough plants that would attract them. So we've been working with, Bobby's new to the city, but we've been working on drip irrigation with him, enhancing it where we need to, and then pulling back the weed cloth and putting in mulch and putting in some new plants. So that's where we are, and we feel like now that we really know that park so intimately, we know how we can design workshops in that setting for the community. And all these workshops are free. Everybody, whatever materials we have, whatever they walk away with. So that's, and I thought there was one more slide, but I guess it's not there. So that's my, part of the presentation. And then I'd like to introduce Tanya. Tanya is.
Diane, before you stop, I got a couple questions, if we may
I
ask.
got questions.
Vice Mayor Smith.
Yeah, thank you.
Come on up, come on
Wonderful
up.
presentation.
Thank you.
And I was reviewing the agreement, and I see in here there's talk about the classes. And so, of course, you're talking about some of the native species and the ornamental plants, but what can you do for my tomatoes? So
That's a good segue right there.
Yeah, right,
It's a good tomato, good veggie
I listen to these garden shows on Saturday once in a while, and there's a lot of, talk about the Master Garden Program, how wonderful it is. And I've always like, boy, I need to catch one of those classes.
Yeah.
So, because sometimes, we struggle with some of our vegetable gardens and whatnot. So
Right.
that would be a wonderful addition and a real, great thing for our local community.
So we'll
And
write that down. We need a tomato workshop.
Right?
There you go.
There it is.
Yeah,
Anyway,
take your input.
super. We really appreciate it.
Councilman Weber has a question for you.
I'll wait.
Okay, all right.
Okay, we got two.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
So as Diane said, my name is Tanya. I've been a master gardener for 4 years, and I've been at Oroville docent working at the St. Park for 2 years. And so some of the educational opportunities that the master gardeners can provide are workshops on citrus care, which St. Park has a wonderful citrus garden, propagation, tool care, native plant gardening, drip irrigation, composting, vermiculture, rose care, invasive species, container gardening, and more. In addition to that, we can also attend events like the Salmon Festival, the Olive Festival, and have a table there and provide resources and answer gardening questions. So there's lots of opportunity. We have a garden in Patrick Ranch in Durham, if many of you don't know that. But that's hard for a lot of people in the South County and Oroville to go to. So having this MOU at St. Park and using the park for workshops is really going to be beneficial for Oroville and the South County residents.
Cool. Thank you very much. Councilman Weber, was that question answered? Or?
Yes. Thank you so much. It was more like statements than anything, with one question. First, it looks amazing. I'm in there often, and when I go for walks or whatever, I go in there and utilize it. I live like 2 blocks away from there, so it's right there. And it's undeniably better. You could totally tell the work you guys have been doing, clearly. So I'm glad to see the faces that have been doing the work. And then also, to your point about all the pictures and all those guys, yep, know them all by name. Great guys, see them all over town doing great work. So it's awesome. And who was it? Mitch and Carlos were telling me how amazing you guys were, right? They're like, man, they're doing some amazing work down there. So it does look, what's that?
It's two-sided.
Oh, yeah, they're great. They're wonderful. Both of them are, So, yeah, great. They're great assets to the city, and they really enjoy working with you guys on this project. So that's wonderful. Great job. And then the last question is, if somebody wanted to volunteer with you guys, how would that work out? Because I think that gentleman said something about volunteering. Okay. Okay.
So Master Gardeners offer a class every other year. We just had a graduating class of how many volunteers? About 25. So we start advertising on our website in July of next year for applicants, and you will fill out an application.
Okay.
And there's lots of different things that you can volunteer. If you can't physically garden, we have a hotline that people can email or call in with their tomato questions.
Yeah.
And so we have the workshops, the tabling events, the hotline.
We also partner with local schools, we do community outreach in different areas.
And Jennifer's our new coordinator, and we're really trying to grow the program.
So did you say July of next year, that the website?
Yeah, we do every other year. We just graduated a class in June, and so, yeah, next year is when we'll open up for applications.
Okay, great.
And then to wrap up, Elaine will do that.
Thank you so much.
Councilman Weber, is your question more how can they volunteer to work now in the park, or is it to be?
I didn't know if you guys would need volunteers to help, because I know that obviously we got some city staff helping you, and that's wonderful, but I didn't know if there would be an opportunity for other volunteers to perhaps, that you would want to come along.
Well, I'll just answer that question.
Would you speak into the mic?
Yeah, sure, of
Yeah.
course. So I'm Elaine Brown. I'm a master gardener. I also volunteer with the museums and gardens, and have for a bunch of years now. Relatively new resident to Oroville. Came from New York State. So anyhow, yes, people can, but they would do it through the city parks. So we have been docent volunteers through the museum, but it's being separated into a parks volunteer program and then, of course, the museum volunteer program. So it would be, they could volunteer specifically with the parks. So anyhow, that's, I still, in the works, correct, I ironing out all the bureaucratic logistics of that effort. But I think it'll happen pretty quickly. Right, Tim?
Yeah.
So anyhow, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background. So the Master Gardener program is a program that's in every state, as well as in Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. It started in Washington State. In 1972, the agricultural extension agents were getting way too many questions about homeowner gardening kinds of things, and they didn't have the capacity to address those. So they started a training program for people to become master gardeners. I know it's a fancy title, but you know, we are all kinds of levels from starter gardeners to quite advanced, very skilled. So anyhow, then that program was so successful, it spread to every state. And then California started its program in 1980 at the University of California, Davis, through the UCANR, University of California Agricultural and Natural Resources. Anyhow, and then Butte County started in 2008, as I recall. Anyhow, so that's how, you know, it's anchored in a much larger program and is also supported by USDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture. Anyhow, so one reason we want this here is because, you know, it's the county seat. It's the second largest community in Butte County, and it serves the needs of this area. And Sank Park is unique because it is a very established, mature garden, and that is not what the garden is at Patrick's Ranch. It's a much newer garden, and so a lot of people maybe buy a home or they rent or whatever, and they have some various things in their landscape, and they can learn how to do some renovative pruning or things that will grow in shade, which there is a lot at Sank. It's a very nice place to work because it's also cooler there. And that kind of, those opportunities exist at Sank that don't exist elsewhere in the Butte County program. And we want to make it available to this community so they don't have to trek to Patrick's Ranch. Many of the classes at Patrick's Ranch are often during the week, so they're not available to people who work a conventional work week. And we intend to do weekend programming, which will also, we think, help visitorship to a place like the Lot House. So that there's more going on there than the house. As Wade has often said in our various conversations over more than 3 years about this, that if he and his wife were visiting a historic house like that, she would go inside, and he loves gardens, so he would spend his time outside. And, you know, I mean, gardens change through the year, and so there's always something to look at. And, of course, many members of that very local community, they enjoy it year-round. But other people in the area could take advantage of it if they know there's workshops. So they are free, the workshops, and then any kind of tabling there. We can do tabling during the times in which the museum is open too. So that people do ask the docents about the gardens, and they don't have the background or the expertise to reply to those queries. And we have more than 10 volunteers who are based here, but and some of them are happy to trek to Chico every time to do volunteer time, but a lot of people want to be able to spend their volunteer time here in this community where they reside. And there are some people who, we have a volunteer who comes from Durham often. She has a strong connection to Oroville. So this would provide different opportunities. Plus, we think we can grow the Master Gardener program of this area by having local opportunities. Anyhow, there you go.
Excellent.
Thank
Any
you.
questions of her? I would entertain a motion for the agreement on council agenda, which is 3594.
So moved.
I'll second that.
You may. Come on up. It's all right. Just share us your name, please. Okay, thank you.
20 years ago. And before I moved down here, I was an equipment operator, right? And I helped a lot of people get in their homes, you know what I'm saying? We did all the dirt work, developed property, you know, stuff, subdivision and stuff, you know? And since I lived down here, I never had that opportunity much more, you know what I'm saying? And so I've been looking for that fulfillment, you know, satisfaction, you know? And so I'm kind of trying to put together I want to start a business, right? And it's going to be an incorporation. And I want to call it the Build a Butte Owner Builder Store. And I want the people of Butte County to own it, you know what I'm saying? We'll sell stocks in it, right? But we'll buy the equipment to make it more affordable for that people to build their houses, right? It's really expensive for people to build houses, you know? And so we could build like the roller roof machines, you know what I'm saying? And like the mini batch plants and the equipment, and just everybody sticks together. And so it would only be for the people that are in Butte County, right? To be able to be partners in, or to be able to buy stocks in. But they'd be the only ones that be able to buy stocks in it, right? But they'd own it, and we could also sell, if you say we got some people working there, and we could sell some of the stuff we produce outwards, you know what I'm saying? To help produce economic growth and, you know, urban expansion.
Thank you, sir.
And so if you guys want to talk to me, I'll be here next, on the 1st, right? That's my birthday.
Yes,
So I'll be here on the 1st with a better plan, all right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. So we had a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Motion passes, 6 yeses, 1 absent.
Okay, thank you all. Next item is item number 4, city server storage infrastructure upgrades. Tyson, welcome. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. This item here is just a standard refresh cycle for a couple pieces of gear that sits in our server room and supports every city server that we run, as well as public safety. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions on it.
Questions from council? Do we have any cards on this item? Oh, Councilman Goodson, excuse me.
Right, I had a couple of questions.
Yes.
One is, what is the age and condition of our current server and storage system?
So we're actually in, so when you buy gear, you buy it in, with a 5-year warranty. We're in the 6th.
So we're in the 6th year,
Yes.
so replacement is pretty much standard.
Yes.
Is this budgeted in our IT capital gain?
This one is coming out of a
Ruth is
special tech fee fund, so it's not in the standard budget.
Okay, and so new and improved, what's the anticipated life expectancy of this new server?
So electronic gear is anywhere between 5 and 7 years, and so with what I try to do is purchase it with 5 years and then possibly extend it to the 7 years.
7 years.
This one, the reason I'm bringing it a little bit early is just because of AI. AI is driving costs up very fast, and this could be, we don't know what it could be in another year.
Okay.
But even $20,000 or $30,000 more than what this is now.
Still involved.
I kind of wanted to get ahead of it so that we don't have to spend more than we need to.
And so here's my last question. Will there ever be an opportunity to move towards like the cloud storage, or does it always have to stay on premise?
For us, there are some things that we can't.
You don't
really
want to
move.
put in the.
Yeah,
Okay.
especially when it comes to public safety. The program that they use, they don't really have a cloud offering at this point. And for us to move it to the cloud, actually, we will incur more costs in trying to connect that back to the state for different databases that they have to reach to.
So number one, it's not going to be cost effective anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other council questions on this item? Do we have any cards on this item?
No, sir.
No cards? I'd entertain a motion.
So, I'll second that.
Call the roll, please.
Motion passes, 6 yeses, 1 absent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Item number 5 is the amendment to Agreement 3546 for the design of the Table Mountain Boulevard, Washington Avenue Complete Streets Project. Mr. Caber.
Good evening again, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vice, council members. I want to start off with, this is a budget neutral item. This is already identified with CMAQ funding. It is an anticipated cost, not coming out of the general fund. This is in support of our ATP application for the Table Mountain Washington Boulevard application that we did in June. This gets the design from 60% to 100% and is actually a requirement for the ATP. It's what we said we were going to do. It's coming late because we had to identify what that gap was with the original funding that we had and what else we needed to do to get to where we were. So we parsed out some of those costs in the CMAQ funding that we had and put some of it into the design and the ATP. I also have the project manager, Daniel Blomquist from Mark Thomas online if there's any questions on the program.
Thanks, sir. Any council questions? Seeing none, any cards on this item?
None received.
I just,
Go ahead, Vice Mayor Smith.
just real quick, any idea about, once this work is completed, in the next phase, of course, there's the actual funding of actually making this all work. But let's say in a perfect world, we're able to, in the next...
The ATP, we should hear about that in December of this year, whether it gets funded by the state.
And then
fingers crossed, and then we have to finish the design, then there's some right-of-way acquisition that we have to do, some utility moves that we have to do. I would anticipate anywhere from late 27 to 28 would be shovels turning dirt.
You read my, see, you knew exactly where I was going. Beautiful, thank you, Tim.
All right. All right, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
And we're talking about agreement number 3546-1. Call the roll, please.
Motion passes, 6 yeses, 1 absent.
All right. Item number 6 is a letter to Pacific Gas and Electric expressing disappointment regarding the delay and potential cancellation of the Orville Rule 20A project and requesting the reconsideration. You all have the letter. Councilman Goodson have a question.
No, I didn't have actually, I just had a statement.
Sure, go ahead.
All right, so granted, I think we were all disappointed, and I just wanted to state for the record, I am supporting this Rule 28 letter. The undergrounding has been a long-standing priority in our community. I mean, for how long?
10 years plus.
And at least. And losing our Rule 28 credits would seriously impact Oroville, and especially the neighborhoods that have waited for so long for this safety and for the infrastructure improvements. So we don't want to lose access to our free undergrounding or any of the benefits that are provided and tied to this program. I believe the letter is necessary, and I definitely do support it.
Okay, any other comments from council? Councilman Johnston, go
I
ahead.
just want to ditto that. I 100% agree with you.
All right, is that a motion?
That is a motion.
Well,
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Under the motion, I'm going to add too that this whole particular area, Meyer Street, was looked at as a storefront rehabilitation and improvement to Meyer Street. And the former redevelopment agency had a huge plan, did about $300,000 in engineering work to make it all work. But we were held back because we needed the power poles removed. They could not be part of it, so we were waiting on this particular thing to happen.
Right.
Now the indications are it is not going to happen. So I think the letter is fair at this point. And
right.
Just to give you a little bit of history on the topic. So, all right. Well, call the roll, please.
Motion passes 6-1, and just for the record, we had no public comment on this item.
Okay. Also, number 8 has been postponed to Councilman Thompson's presence as he raised.
7.
Oh, 7, excuse me. I'm sorry. Alternatives for filling the potential District A vacancy. The council will consider alternatives for filling the potential vacancy of District A should Councilman Johnstone not find a new place of residency within the district.
Mr. Mayor, with
Go ahead.
Councilmember Johnstone's announcement last meeting that she intended to seek a replacement residency within her district, we wanted to bring this to present to council in the event that that is not possible. I know Councilmember Johnstone does still wish to speak on this item, and so I'm going to let her proceed, and then I'll flesh out the rest of the detail for council.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Johnstone, go ahead.
Thank you so much. So it is with great consideration that I will be stepping down from my position as District A council member effective at the end of this week. It was not a decision taken lightly due to family circumstances. I have recently sold my home and no longer live in that district. I do have council member obligations throughout the rest of this week that I will be committing to completing, and I'm going to officially step down as of 5 p.m. Friday. I am also going to cease looking for alternate housing in my district at that time. I would like to make a statement, if I may.
Go ahead, cheers.
You got
We got your back. We got you.
Love you.
To the residents of District A, I humbly thank you for placing your trust and confidence in me. Representing you has been an incredible honor and a responsibility that I have never taken lightly. Whether we have agreed on every issue or not, I have always tried to listen, ask questions, stand up for what I believe in, and make decisions based on what I believe you believe in and what is in the best interest for our district and in the interest of the people that I was elected to represent. And to my fellow council members, thank you for the opportunity to serve alongside you. We have not always agreed, and that's part of public service. But I respect every single one of you. I respect the time, the commitment, and the sacrifice that's required to sit up here on this dais. I sincerely wish each and every one of you success as you continue the important work ahead. To our city staff, I want to express my sincere appreciation for the work that you do. The public often sees what happens on the dais, but they don't see what you do behind the closed doors. And I just am honored to have been able to lead you and guide you. And I respect each and every one of you for the work that you do. And I appreciate you, and I want to say thank you. And to the members of our community who have reached out to me, attended the meetings, asked difficult questions, volunteered, offered encouragement, or simply cared enough to get involved, thank you. Local government works best when its citizens participate, speak up, and hold their elected representatives accountable.
Right.
I don't know what the future holds.
None of us do.
I am not stepping away from the community. Orville is a community that I deeply care about. And this will not change simply because I'm stepping down. I don't, who knows, maybe in different circumstances in the future, I would welcome the opportunity to serve again. I leave this position grateful. Grateful for the experience, grateful for the friends that I've made, the people that I've worked with, and it's been a privilege and an honor to represent the District A and serving the city of Orville.
Johnston.
Come on.
There's none other like you, so there is no replacement. God made one. So in recognition of your outstanding leadership, your dedication and commitment to the city of Oroville, you have made a lasting impact, an impression on our community and on each one of our hearts. I just want you to know that your hard work, your unwavering support have made Oroville a better place for all of us. You brought my sister. You tempered us.
Yeah.
We didn't always agree, but it was pleasant to disagree, right? Because it was a meeting of the minds and the hearts and the different perspectives, right?
Yeah.
And we could still walk away from closed session and open session knowing that we had a true counterpart, someone that we can really depend on to vet and make an informed decision. We'll never forget that about you. We love you.
This is a small.
Thank you so
Don't
much.
forget us.
I won't ever forget you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Pardon?
Could I say something?
Oh, please go right ahead.
Let me turn my mic on for our audience. Tracy, man, I'm telling you. Man, I'm telling you. You're amazing. Your commitment to this community, your commitment and pledge to be who you are no matter what. Because the thing about Tracy that some of you don't know, but I know, and what we know up here and the staff knows now, is that she's not wearing a mask. What you see is what you get, period. She's like that all the time. She's cheerful, she's happy, she's considerate, and she does her due diligence. I'm you know what, I'm honored. You know, like Janet was just talking about, I'm honored to call you my sister. And, you know, then this work that we're doing in the community here, you have really committed yourself to this, and it shows. And it's going to be a massive void to fill that seat. It really is. And but you know, we got some folks running for it, so we're going to see how it works out. And I'm really excited. Really excited. So, but thank you so much, and we love you. We love you so much.
Yes, we do.
I love you guys too. Thank you very much for the honor.
Are you back in the queue?
I've been in the queue.
I know.
I
I'm
don't know
going to
who
say
took me.
can't get you out of the queue.
All right.
All right, thank you. We appreciate your words very much, so obviously. We do have some agenda business in this, so I'm going to ask council for there. We basically have a couple items here. Let the city attorney give us those options.
So as you invariably can see through the words that Ms. Johnstone has presented tonight, and with her upcoming conclusion to her service to the city on Friday and cessation of seeking residency, hopefully a miracle will happen, but you know, we're going to move forward with the recommendations here, and we've discussed this with Councilmember Johnstone, who feels very strongly about continuing her representation. So there are a couple options. The first is that council can appoint. They are under Government Code Section 36512B. There's a 60-day period following the commencement of the vacancy during which you can appoint to the seat. And there are various ways that you can do that. So with it commencing on Friday, then that would start your clock. If you do fill it by appointment, then whoever you do appoint as a council will serve the remainder of the unexpired term. And in this particular case, the seat would be, there would be a council member elect in November. We don't know who that necessarily would be. If you chose not to fill it by appointment, then the default is that you call a special election. I think by the time you hold a special election, somebody new will be elected into this seat, and so it seems difficult to choose that option. But after our conversations with Councilmember Johnstone, staff has recommended that you fill that by through the appointment process. A couple of options. You could allow a couple or 3 weeks for applications to be received and then put that item on the October 6, 2026 agenda. Or you can decide and tell staff how you want us to handle gathering individuals for that appointment. And we'll be giving notice to the public on the day that it becomes effective, which is, according to Councilmember Johnstone's announcement, the end of this Friday. And so if we can, we would like to take council's direction so that we know how you want us to proceed with that, whether you want us to start an appointment process or otherwise act.
Well, appreciate those options. I think as he stated, a election would be very expensive and probably not capable time-wise to get it done. My observation is, if it happens on Friday, then we post applications and ask for applications from interested residents that qualify, and then have the council consider it. That's my suggestion.
I'll second that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And put the quick. In her district.
Yes.
Yes.
You have to be a resident of the district itself. And, as you know, we do have candidates who've announced to run in November. And so, we'll also be sure to notify them that the vacancy is coming early in case they have an interest in that as well. You can decide when you get to October 6th, what consideration you want to give to that dynamic.
What I say qualifications is simply that in the district, we're not looking for anybody to replace her. That's
I'm
not
sorry.
there's nobody capable of replacing her, so.
Yes, if I use that terminology, Ms. Johnstone, I apologize. Your successor. I'll call her, them, her, him, your successor.
Thank you.
With very large shoes to fill, staff appreciates everything you've done for us. And
So I
we
think
look forward to
staff has direction. We don't.
So do we have another option here?
You can call a special election if you'd like.
So here's my option. We're already in August, and we're so close to the November election. With District A candidates, they're already actively campaigning. A special election, as we know at this point, is going to be very extremely costly. Mm-hmm. So there are 6 of us that represent a district, but all 7 of us oversee the city as a whole. So I don't see anything on the horizon that is just earth-shattering, a tsunami in nature that would significantly disadvantage District A during this short period. So for me, the most practical approach is just to leave the seat vacant and proceed with the regular November election results. I mean, that is another option. I think it's the most viable.
Personally, I understand the point, but I think just because of the timing, and it is short timing without it, I think for us to, I think my experience in the past is you always have an application period. I don't think the application should be 60 days. I mean, I would suggest it being 2 weeks.
Just 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, to me, 2 weeks is more than enough for an interested party, and then have the applications reviewed. And you mentioned next council agenda date?
October 6th.
October 6th, okay.
I mean, with the candidates already announced for the upcoming election, you could limit it to that pool. You could choose somebody who's not going to be elected just to sit in the seat until the person who the voters choose is going to be there, so you're not, weighing it. But those considerations can be discussed when you get to the appointment period on the 6th of October, if you want to mull those over.
I appreciate that. I would hate to put restrictions on it myself.
So I would like to motion that we hold off until the regular election.
Vice Mayor Smith is in.
So the way it was presented, I didn't think that option that was just expressed was available. But it looks like that is an available option potentially, concerning that the requirements for us to fill the seat, being the vacancy period, would become problematic. But
Well, let me explain what the government code actually says.
yeah,
It says
that would be helpful.
in the 60 days following the appointment, you may appoint to the seat. And if you don't appoint to the seat in that 60 days, you shall call a special election. And so the action that you can take is one of those two things, according to the government code. I do not know the consequences of not acting during that time period. Somebody theoretically could file a motion or a writ in court to force you to appoint somebody, I guess, if they wanted to get really crazy and extreme about that. And then the court could force you to appoint, but by the time that happens, the election will be over and the whole thing will be moot. So if you choose not to act or do anything, the consequences are really only on the district residents that Ms. Johnstone has identified that she really feels that she wants to have represented through the end of the term. And that person who is ultimately elected in November would be seated in January alongside anybody else who is seated. So staff's recommendations based on Councilmember Johnstone's request and the two options presented in the government code, and I'm not going to opine as to the potential consequences of not doing either of those things.
I'll just opine a little further. And so, and just to join with Councilwoman perspective, I would agree. And my concern is for us to put our finger on the scale, and this because we're now in the election season. There's two candidates running, and I'm uncomfortable with that. And yet, I would feel some level of obligation to appoint one or the other to that seat, given the outcome will be one or the other will be, stepping into that role. And so to that end, I feel a little uncomfortable because we would essentially be putting our finger on the scale. I don't like that. I don't think that's appropriate at this stage. Had this been several months earlier, I'd probably feel different about it. So with that being said, I completely concur with Councilwoman Goodson's perspective.
Let me ask the question, though. You just mentioned that if we did not select an appointment within the 60 days, the government code requires us to have a special election?
That is the language that says you shall. You shall call a special election. Now, you can't call an election, have it the next day, right?
Right.
So from a practical perspective, the timing doesn't seem to suggest that you would be able to actually hold a special election by the time a regular general election seats somebody new into the district. So, I don't know what the consequences of that are, and certainly I don't have any interest in, arguing a writ of mandate that somebody might bring. I don't see the wisdom of that because it'd be mooted out by the election itself, but, strange things happen. And like I said, those are the two options that are present in the code. It doesn't give you that third option in the code. So
that's my only worry, that technically we would be required to have a special election based upon the code, as you stated.
Technically, you'd be required to call a special election. Whether it's ultimately held or not, I don't know.
It's the timing. Yeah. So.
Councilman Johnstone's in the queue.
All right, am I on?
Yes.
So it has been my desire that the seat not go empty, but after further consideration, I do trust and value the wisdom and intelligence of the council that we have. So if it is their desire and their willingness to oversee District A until such time as a representative can be elected in the general election, I would be okay with that.
Thank you.
Understood.
All right.
Thank you.
I got it, Tracy.
You got me? Okay.
We got it. Yeah.
So I'm looking to have some kind of consensus here. We don't really have it. We can't make a motion to this. We just have to get consensus.
Mr. Mayor, we do have a public comment on this item.
Oh, okay.
Gina Garcia.
Gina, welcome.
Hi, Council. It's just I'm hearing all the options. What about if they say you shall hold a special election? Can that special election be November 3rd?
It cannot. The special election on November 3rd is the general election, and there are certain prescribed time periods between the time an election is called and an election is held that have to be observed, and they don't align with holding that election on November 3rd. So you could not consolidate a special election with that election date, unfortunately.
Okay.
It would, be
So-
after that date.
So if you can't do that, will the candidates that are running now be in a penalty for that position? Like, will they be not allowed to run because now it is a special election?
No. They will run on the general election date. They've already, as far as I know, clerk can correct me if I'm wrong, but they've already been qualified to appear on the November 3rd ballot, those who elected to file for office, to run for office, and those have been sent to the county elections office already. And so we are well underway with the November election.
Okay.
Yeah.
And could those representatives or, those candidates can they also be part of that special election if you do, like if they're running, I know they're not allowed, but would
So,
they?
Let's say, for example, that council called a special election, right? That special election would have to be held a certain number of days, which will fall after the general election. So there will already be a council member elect from the general election, and that would cause that special election, the need for it to be moot, because then there wouldn't be a vacancy anymore. There would have been a person elected at November, right?
Just choosing, okay, got it.
It's unclear to me, if you called a special election in an expedited kind of way, that there would be a cost, there could be a cost associated with, partially moving forward with that. It wouldn't be the same as actually holding it, but I think it would be moot by the time
Yeah.
you got to it.
So they can have that intention too.
Yeah, and we may have costs associated with, staff time and other things, if you were to call one and people were going to file for it. And ultimately turn out that it'd just be unnecessary anyway. It's just because of the timing, it's just an odd item to think about. And of course, council members are balancing, what happens if they decide to appoint when we have two people who are scheduled for, or however many people, I don't know if it's two or it could be more, for November already. So that's the discussion here, but the timing doesn't line up to coordinate them together.
So,
Thank you.
so I do have a question for the attorney. Because as I'm researching this.
Kayla had a comment on that
Kayla, I'm
point.
sorry, Kayla.
I just wanted to confirm we do have 2 certified candidates for District A for the November 3rd general election. Just as a matter of being thorough, we did state earlier if an appointment process did happen, they needed to reside within the district, but they also need to be a registered voter in that district as well.
That's a good point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Jan.
Councilman Goodson.
Under California Government Code 365.12, parentheses B, close parentheses, a city council may choose not to call a special election and may leave the seat vacant if the vacancy occurs within 130 days of the next regularly scheduled municipal election, or the council determines that holding a special election is not necessary or fiscally responsible. Since Oroville's election is in November and candidates for District A are already campaigning, the council is fully within its legal authority to 1, leave the city vacant, 2, allow the November election to fill it, and 3, avoid the cost and confusion of a special election. This is standard practice in California cities.
I think that's a mic drop.
And if I may, Mr. Mayor, we do have one more public comment on this item.
Oh, okay.
Trevor Smith?
Trevor, welcome.
I think you just sealed the deal right there.
As an affected party,
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw out there, I don't know if it's possible, if you bar myself and my opponent from applying for that period, I would not be opposed to it. If she would also not be opposed to it, I don't know if that makes your decision easier or not.
Huh.
If we can agree not to apply and you can appoint somebody unrelated to the campaign. Also not opposed to Councilwoman Goodson's idea of leaving it vacant.
Right.
And
I can't speak for Luis.
Just for the record, I had not reviewed the applicability of that section of this context, so I'll
Thank you,
do
Trevor.
that. But certainly do that before I'll do that certainly before you move forward any further.
Well, it sounds to me like we may have enough days to not require a special
Require a
election.
special
Yeah,
election.
like I said, I have
Yeah.
not researched that section and the applicability of it here.
Right.
But we did have a meeting with the county elections office, and that particular section did not come up.
Okay.
So,
So
we have a
I'm going to
motion.
say consensus is if that date is long enough, then we just let it lay and go forward unless you can find out more information that we need. Because I don't want to be held to, like you mentioned, the 60-day rule and then put a special election on it. I mean, I know it's physically not possible, but I also don't want to get stuck with a bill.
So I hear the consensus direction at the moment being, council doesn't really have an appetite for getting involved in putting its finger on the scale, so to speak, and that if there is a section allowing them not to do that and not to incur the cost, given the proximity of the general election, that is what you'd like staff to do.
I would agree to that. All? Okay.
Agree.
We have consensus.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll take
Appreciate
that direction. Thank you very much.
Appreciate staff's on it because it's a very difficult item, and I appreciate the work on that. Now, item number 8 was postponed to another agenda. Okay, public hearing we already had. Hearing of non-agenda items, do we have any more cards?
I have one submitted speaker card from Pastor David Goodson.
Pastor David Goodson, welcome.
I came here to make you interesting.
More interesting.
Go right ahead, David.
You know, let's see. Why I'm Pastor David Goodson, and to the mayor and to the council, thank you for allowing me to have this moment. Ron, did you get my text? Okay. So I didn't want to
Blindside him.
blindside him, but it is sort of blindsiding, but not really. First of all, I want to commend Mr. Ron Belser for the fantastic job, outstanding job that he's doing in code enforcement to help our city of Oroville all over, and it is a big job. I came here because we do have council here tonight, and I think that there's some things that we need to accelerate and push forward. So I have, these are some buildings in the south side that there has been action taken by you all, are concerned about it. But it's been a while, and it's been, like in some instances, a couple of years. And so the first building is that I wanted to bring to your attention is the building next to Jackson Glass. Yeah, the building next to Jackson Glass. It was a former, what was it? Auto shop? Pony Express Auto. And yeah, and there's, it's really dilapidated. It is a hazard to the community. We have homeless folks that kind of go in there as well. The next location is the gas station on the corner of Lincoln, excuse me, of B Street and Lincoln. That's a significant eyesore in our community. Both these buildings are, locations are, and that is, that's not a building any longer. But we're hoping that it will be taken out and that the building by Jackson Glass can be torn down. The other is the old clothing store or thrift store.
Regards? Is it Regards? What is it?
Regards, yeah.
Regards.
Regards. It's called Regards. So those are three of the locations that would make a significant difference in our area. And, it's a conversation that has come up numerous times. And so I'm hoping that, action can significantly be taken. People have been brought it to my attention. Then also the other item is the old patio location that was approved as a business location for someone that wanted to put a U-Haul business there. It's turned into a junkyard. Oh, it wasn't? No, we opened the case. Oh, okay. It did look like it was abandoned, so I was wondering where they were.
Oh, so that's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they left their trash.
Yeah.
Okay. So that answers that question.
All right. Your time is up, sir.
Here we go.
Boy, I've been waiting to say that. Thank you.
It brought to my attention as well that there may be an inordinate number of and I don't know the answer, but it was brought to my concern that it may be
Mr. Wines.
Yeah.
Chief Wines would
We'll,
be the
we'll,
one.
we'll share that along. I
Yes.
actually attended the flock workshop, and that question was answered quite well by Kelly. The flock cameras have been distributed based upon crime activity, access, needs for it, and there really is not a concentration based upon just your area. It was answered at that meeting quite well, and
The other part of that is I can tell the person, they want
No.
that is available.
That would be a criminally minded person.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, any other comment cards?
No, sir.
No? All right, the future agenda items, any council have a future agenda item to put up? Seeing none, correspondence here, we have the fire department monthly report and the city clerk monthly report. And with that, folks, we are concluded. The meeting will be adjourned to the next regular meeting will be held on September 1st, 2026 at 4 p.m. Thank you all and enjoy your evening. We are adjourned.
You made it.
Yeah. Someone had run to run it.